Hello on YouTube. Hello on Facebook. Welcome. Having a problem with my Facebook right there, so I'm gotta do this. All right, so I'm gonna put that there. That'll be better. All right. So I had a really interesting talk with Sterling this morning, and it was pretty awesome. So we were talking about USA Tennis Coach, and there's some interesting things happening. We're making some input and influence with USA Tennis Coach. And I want to start you with a quote here, though. So we're going to talk about USA Tennis Coach and our mission, and then also moving towards becoming our best authentic selves, because that plays a lot into what's been happening lately here. All right, so here's a Plato quote. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. And so, I mean, that guy, Plato, pretty major philosopher, one of the most influential of all time. And I think it's very interesting. So I think the first thing is, I would encourage everyone to get involved somehow and, defend what you believe in. So now if we look at USA Tennis Coach, we're trying to get involved, and the people have asked the question, is USA Tennis Coach somehow competing with other organizations? And the answer is no. And the answer is yes. All right. So the answer is no, in that, we're not actively trying to recruit away from anybody's base. We're not trying to become a larger organization than any of the existing organizations. We don't want to take away anything. So in that regard, we are absolutely not competing with any other organization. In fact, we promote other organizations, and we desire to have people join USA Tennis Coach and then also join other organizations. So, in that regard, we would like people to support us. So, then in another regard, then it's absolutely yes, because everybody benefits from competition. So if what we do is so good that people then, are challenged to do what they do better, then so be it. I mean, we don't shrink back from that. So that's really an important thing. I mean, everybody wants to do their best, and I'm a very competitive person. So of course I'm going to try to do a better job than somebody else. But I will also stop and recognize when somebody else is doing a good job. I mean, it's really, really a fun thing. So hello, Benjamin Price. How are you, sir? All right. So, so that's where we start, USA Tennis Coach. And our mission is to give a voice to high school tennis coaches, especially team coaches overall, because we really believe that team tennis is one of the greatest resources for growing the sport, because then people belong to something. So we believe we want voice and choice. We give voice and choice, and so everyone who joins our organization has a voice in it, and it goes back to that quote, right? We wouldn't want the penalty of the people who are coming in be that they're being governed by their inferiors, and that would be Sterling and I. So, so I think it's an important topic to discuss, because we're really into discussion and hearing from people and refining things, and becoming sharper and better all the time. So Sterling challenges me often, and we gain feedback from different people, and it's always helpful. We always listen to what people have to say. So one thing that Sterling reminded me of this morning in our meeting was that, we want to be wise as serpents, but harmless as doves. All right. And so essentially, we want to be really smart and do really well and use the best use of our time and argue well for things that need to be argued for. And yet we don't go out of our way to be offensive. We don't go out of our way to promote hidden agendas. We don't, we're pretty authentic, and you can count on us to speak our minds and value the opinions of others. So, so anyway, part of what I'm doing, I don't know, some of you have been on my Facebook and you've seen some of the discussions that have been on there, and there have been some good arguments, good fights, and whatnot. So I think moving forward there, though, there's only really one issue that matters to me, and that matters to USA Tennis Coach, and that's the First Amendment, because we believe that freedom of speech is a very important right for people in their organizations. I think it's really important for people to be able to be free to speak up and say, hey, I think we should go this way, or here's something that this organization's doing that could be better. And when those things get kind of put down and people don't feel free to speak because there will be some kind of political retribution or whatever, then everyone suffers. So, so I think it's really important that we all kind of look inside ourselves and say, do I value that differing opinion that someone has? And I do. I really love to hear different things. And there's some people out there who are watching this who have given me some really interesting info that was totally different than what the assumptions were that I was operating under. And it really changed my point of view dramatically on some things. So I'm very appreciative of that. I think when we all come together with this sort of humility that none of us knows everything, and we all have something to contribute to one another, then that's a great thing for the game. That's great for the sport. So USA Tennis Coach is going to be looking to partner with different organizations now and go forward. Now, that's kind of the voice part. That's USA Tennis Coach. Our mission is to train and mentor and give a voice to high school coaches, and more. We want to serve them and serve tennis coaches in many different capacities and give opportunities to serve to many. This is something that is our vision. And the voice part of it is a major part of it. And we've had some really terrific people come in and give us some ideas and tell us things that we need to do better. And we work hard to do those things better. So then we get into being authentic, because one thing I think that gets you watching there is the authenticity. So you can count on me to say what I'm really thinking. And, I always try to couch things in the best possible language. And, I'm all for some pushback on an argument, but, I'm going to want to see some logic behind what's being said. So if I'm not seeing the logic, then I'm going to ask for some logic. So, this is something that over the years, it's taken me a while to get to a point where I could really express my authentic self. Now, the next thing is to keep moving towards my best authentic self. Okay, so we have a question. I think that's a good one. Benjamin Price. Ben Price says, "Can you explain authenticity?" So, I think if we go to Shakespeare, I think the best quote on that comes from Hamlet's father when he says, "To thine own self be true." Um, and and I think the authenticity is to say what we really mean and try to be as vulnerable and as transparent as possible, up until the limit that we become offensive to other people. So, and then we get into the Locke versus Hobbes thing. So, and I'll explain that a little bit too. But I think many times we hold back, or we try to think about what is it that people want to hear, and then we tell them what we think they want to hear, instead of expressing what it is that we think, that what is our opinion. I mean, having informed opinions is a really important part of being influential. So holding back the true thoughts, sometimes it's helpful, many times it's not helpful. So and then people find themselves going along with agendas that they don't believe in, for whatever reason. I mean, because it's politically expedient to them, because they gain financially from it. And they gain sort of a false influence that way. So doing what we deep down in our real true ethic that we have, and discovering what that is, letting that manifest itself. And I think part of it comes from just talking about it. Many times, when we get our thoughts out, then we're able to kind of examine them and think longer about what it is that we're saying, because from what comes in here comes out there. And it's an interesting thing. So the authenticity is being who you are and becoming better at who you are. And this is something that I've been kind of on a mission to refine what I do, get better at what I do. Part of this challenge of going live daily it's been very challenging. I've had some ups and downs. I've had some people contact me and say that they feel like I'm getting a lot better on camera, which is nice. And I've had some bad days where it just didn't go well at all, and it was awkward and bad. So but we got to put ourselves out there for this stuff. So now, in regard to going more towards my best, I mean, what I'm trying to do is engage people in conversation. And the one issue that really affects that the most is the First Amendment, which is dramatically under attack right now. And so I'm done with talking about political parties. I'm done with talking about any specific, politician or influential group, unless it's connected to this issue of the First Amendment, because it's vital to our ability to have a discourse. When that goes away and people aren't allowed to say what they want to say, then we're all in trouble. Everybody's in trouble. And and then when we're when we can't express who we are and what we want, then life just becomes this incredible tyranny, and it's also interesting that a lot of the reason why we are where we are right now stems from the horrific events on 9/11, you know, and the creation of Homeland Security and the TSA program, and also, you know, the wide-ranging the wide-ranging spying that our country does on each one of us. I mean, that's kind of a problem. So anyway, so if we bring it full circle, the whole point of all of this is to give you your voice, to, you know, be able to argue things out, because you know, one of my favorite moments was a time when I was on a committee with one of the better people who's ever worked for the USTA, Peter Herb. And I think I've told this story before, so if you've heard this one, forgive me. But this was awesome for me because we were trying to solve a very sticky problem in terms of the management of tournaments. And the problem was that an indoor club was starting matches after midnight. And so then these matches would end at 3 a.m. And then those same people who were involved in that match would have to come back for an 8 a.m. match the next morning. So we had to come up with something, an idea that would, you know, put a rule in place that wouldn't allow for these matches to end so late. Anyway, so Peter and I both submitted ideas. And after talking about it for about 10, 15 minutes, I started to like his idea more than the one that I originally submitted. And he started to like the idea that I submitted. And then it was just amazing to me to see the executive director of UST NorCal arguing so strongly for my idea, which I no longer liked, and then me arguing for his idea, which he no longer liked, and he made my original idea win. But in that debate, in that discussion, we were all there for one reason: to try to make it better. That's what it's all about. It's all about just making things better. So now, if I have offended you, please send me a message. You know, if there's some way where I've had a discussion about, you know, politics or an issue or something, and you found what I was saying offensive, please let me know. I will gladly apologize for that. You know, if, on the other hand, you know, this was a thing of logic, and there was a, you know, difficulty with trying to understand each other, with having proof, then let's just let that go. I mean, it's all about coming together as a people, as a tennis community, as a, you know, everywhere in our lives, and trying to make connections and make things better, and being authentic, and you know, being who we are in the best possible way that we can be, to make the world a better place, you know. And you know, and tennis does make the world a better place. So let's do that. Let's really focus on growing our sport, for the sake of, you know, the 34 different reasons why tennis is so awesome compared to other sports. I mean, it's really an amazing thing. So let's all get together on that mission. Let's fight some stuff out. Let's enjoy that battle. Let's try to keep it as high-minded and respectful as possible. You know, let's not put labels on people. You know, I know people have tried to label me a certain way, you know, and I try to avoid putting labels on people. I might hold up a label and then see if someone wants to put it on, but if you can find a time when I've labeled someone, I would love to know about that too. So, but you know, we can talk about ideas, and this is an important part of everything that we do. I will never shrink back from talking about ideas. I will always commit to being respectful of you and your thoughts and your feelings about whatever we're talking about. So thanks for tuning in, and let's move this thing along. So little news blip. I'm going to be going on a road trip coming up. I'm going to be leaving here in Northern California, going down through Southern California, maybe even make a stop in Orange County, heading through the desert, Palm Desert, might even stop off in Joshua Tree National Park, which is amazing. I'm going to most likely going to be in Mesa, Arizona, November 30th. Looking pretty highly likely that I'll be in Austin, Texas, December 1st through 3rd. And if you're somewhere along that route, I would like to see about, coming and visiting you and your group. We can work something out. So let's make it fun. Let's come together. Let's be positive, uplifting, and authentic, because people are drawn to authentic more than they are drawn to the fake stuff, the pretend stuff, and the hidden agendas. All right. So hopefully I'll see you on the road. If I do, be sure to say hi. I will gladly stop and talk with you for every possible moment that I can. All right. Thanks for watching.